June 2. 193. Didius Julianus, Emperor of Rome, executed after a reign of 60 days, which he purchased of the soldiers. 1581. James Douglas, Earl Morton, was guillotined at Edinburgh for the supposed murder of Lord Darnley. 1609. 7 ships, attended by 2 small vessels, with 500 people, sailed for Virginia, under Sir Thomas Gates, Sergio. 23. 1627. Charles I granted to James Hay, Earl of Carlisle, by letters patent, all the Caribbean islands. 1653. Action between the English fleet under Monk, and the Dutch under Tromp. The action continued 2 days, and resulted in the defeat of the Dutch, who lost 20 ships taken or destroyed. 1656. Cornerstone of the Dutch church, laid in the center of State Street, in the city of Albany, New York, by Rutger Jacobson, one of the magistrates. 1671. Edward Lee, a learned Englishman, and member of the Long Parliament, died. 1676. Indian battle near Mount Hope. About 300 of the English, mounted on horses, with a number of friendly Indians, in pursuit of Philip and his regiment of Wampanoags, came upon their camp, which had been newly pitched in a swamp. The friendly Indians upon a given signal ran down upon them from one side, while the mounted soldiers attacked them from the opposite side, so that many of those who fled were taken prisoners. The fruits of this expedition were 3,000 of the enemy killed and taken, and among the prisoners a Narragansett squaw called the Old Queen. None of the English, and but few of the Allies were hurt in this assault. Philip escaped this pursuit, although it was an irreparable blow to his plan of a general extermination of the English settlements, and nearly completed his ruin. 1754. Earthquake at Cairo, in Egypt, which nearly destroyed the city, and buried 40,000 of its inhabitants in the ruins. 1779. Verplancks Point, with a garrison of 70, and 4 cannon, surrendered to the British Gen H. 1780. Great riots in London. Lord Gordon, at the head of 50,000 Protestants, went to Parliament to present a petition against popery. 1781. French under Bouille took Tobago. 1782. Battle of Arni, in India, and defeat of Hyder Ali, by the British under Sir Ercoude. 1783. Washington furloughed the soldiers of the war. 1789. Baron Nafausen, a Hessian general in the British service during the War of the American Revolution, died at Berlin, in Prussia, aged 59. 1791. The city of Anapa, in Asia, stormed and taken from the Turks by the Russians. In the assault many were put to the sword, and a pasha and 14,000 made prisoners. 1793. Brissot and several other members of the convention arrested in Paris. 1795. M. Dambarny died at Rouen, distinguished as a merchant and a man of science. 1802. British House of Commons voted drive Jenner £10,000 for his discovery of the vaccine inoculation. 1803. Thomas Pett, an English miser, died. He went to London at the age of 10, with a solitary shilling in his pocket. He lodged 30 years in one gloomy apartment, which was never lighted up with coal, candle, or the countenance of a visitant. It is said he never ate a morsel at his own expense, and left about $35,000 to relatives whom he had never seen. 1805. British surrendered Diamond Rock, Martinique, to the French. 1811. Christophe and Maria Louisa, his sable consort, crowned at Cape Francois, sovereigns of Haiti. 1812. John William de Winter, a noted Dutch admiral, died at Paris. 1814. Peace between Great Britain and France proclaimed in London. 1843. John Carey, a Negro, died at Washington, aged 114. He accompanied Washington as his personal servant in the Old French War, and preserved the dress coat presented to him by the general, which he had worn at the siege of Yorktown. 1854. The military force of Boston was called out to protect the government marshal in delivering Anthony Burns, a fugitive slave, on board a Virginia vessel. No serious outbreak occurred, though crowds thronged the streets, and hooted and hissed and groaned, and threw missiles at the military, and at the marshal and his assistants. 1855. There was a riot at Portland, Maine. A crowd attempted to seize with violence certain liquors, claimed to be owned by the city. And, persisting, the military were called out and fired, killing one man and wounding others.